is September 12th, where I'm reporting from the Doing It Right Women's Conference here at the Deerfoot Inn and Casino in Calgary. The conference brings together business owners, community leaders, and aspiring politicians with one goal in mind: helping women step into decision-making roles and get their voices heard.
This conference was a fantastic opportunity for people to come together, for people who are interested in politics, to figure out what does it take to go from being interested in politics to then putting your name on a ballot. I know for me, oftentimes in my political career, it was having people around me who could encourage me to take that first step and actually get to the point where I was running in a nomination campaign. And so I always like to prioritize events like this where then I can essentially give back and help support other female candidates who are looking to run.
Well, when I got a call from the organizers, actually, first I said, oh, another women's conference. Because I'm of the big belief, like I as a woman, there are so many things that make me who I am, and being a woman is just a very small part of it. So I want to gather with people who I share beliefs with, and I want to get those ideas and beliefs throughout the country. But I also recognize the importance and the value that women of all political stripes bring to the whole political process. We do have a different perspective, and unfortunately, men don't always think about us when they are thinking of promotions. So we need more women in positions of leadership because women do promote women. So that's why it was important and why I said yes, I wanted to be here.
I mean, women have an incredibly important seat at the table. Obviously, I have a wife, I have daughters. I want to see them move into business. I want to see them have success. I want to see them in the political arena. And I think the greatest thing about today's conference is just how all of those things intersect.
I do think it's important we get more women in politics. I hope to bring an element to the political stage that, a softer tone, compassionate, but serious and stern in a lot of ways too. We need strong women on council. In particular, I'm running for Ward 6 City Council.
I think the first step is just getting involved and trying to build up your network, trying to make sure that you have what I sort of refer to as a toolkit of tactics that you can use to advance your frame. And so I think there's lots of ways to get involved. You can go door knocking, you can attend a policy convention. There's lots of great movements on the Conservative side that are forming in Canada. We've got the Fraser Institute that has amazing student events. We have the Strong and Free Network that has a mentorship program for young people. There's a lot of internships on the party side. There's great news organizations that are outside the mainstream media that offer internships. And I think having a diversity of perspectives to be able to pursue really elevates our movement.
I've been Conservative forever, and I really wanted to see more women elected. I'm not somebody who believes in quotas or counting. I really think that if you want a spot at the table, you have to earn it, you have to work hard, you have to door knock. And so I want to be that person for other people. And I think the discussions we heard here today, you hear from people from all party stripes, you hear from experiences of people who, have run at different levels of government. And so I think it's great to have that open dialogue and discussion without judgment, and a place where people can ask questions and eventually get to the point where they are getting involved, whether it's putting their name on a ballot or helping out on a campaign.
Conservative women generally are not celebrated at all as much as liberal women, and Conservative women are much more quickly vilified when they lead and when they make decisions that they believe are in the best interests of their constituents. And I think Premier Smith is a great example of that. She has been an incredible leader. She has been incredibly smart when it comes to dealing with Donald Trump, and many in the East and in the left media have vilified her for it. So yeah, I think they do treat Conservative women differently, but you know what? Whatever. We'll keep doing us.
Our premier has taught me so many skills. She is, I think she is one of the most dynamic leaders we have in Canada right now. A couple of the things is she really builds on the strengths of her team. She empowers both cabinet ministers, MLAs to hear people. She believes in direct democracy. I think about things like the Alberta Next panel, where we are traveling around the province, and she personally is taking the time to hear directly from from Albertans. What are their ideas? What are their concerns? And have vigorous and, really in-depth debate on the issues. I honestly think she is unique in that regard. I think she is courageous. I really respect her belief in direct democracy. I think it's amazing.
Tell us, why did you choose to put this on your table today?
Because it was horrifying to see what was done to Charlie Kirk, and he was doing something very similar to this. He started when he was 17 years old, and he was reaching out to Glenn Beck back then, saying, "Hi, I'm a 17-year-old high school student. I care about debt and deficit." That hit really close to home, and he started Turning Point USA a year later, and he built a huge movement. And so I just felt it was appropriate to honor him in this one way. Because he stood up for things like free speech, and obviously he cared about things like debt and deficit, as we do here at the Taxpayers Federation. I'm always encouraging young people to get out there, get involved, sign up. And that is what Kirk was also doing in his own way with his own issues all the time. And so just as a fellow advocacy organization person, I just felt it was important to fly that flag just a little bit. And other people here who are way more involved with elements of Turning Point USA felt it was very strongly personal for them. So again, it's remarkable that he was able to build such a grassroots organization. It's not every day that you see somebody who does the internet thing, like the keyboard warrior thing with his podcast, but also is physically out there having conversations, looking eye to eye, signing people up, and it's a lot of work, and he kept doing it. And fundamentally what struck me is that he was killed with a microphone in his hand and freedom on his t-shirt. That matters. And I would say the same thing if he was like a left-wing grassroots group. You have to be able to speak. Because here in Canada, if you can't speak against the government, and you can't hold it accountable.
It's not just Calgary. I think we all see, the results of the last few days, the Charlie Kirk death. What this is about is being nonpartisan. This is about bringing people together, whether it's in the business community or politics. We have to be allowed to have conversations with one another without this crazy divide of threat and people killing each other. Nothing moves forward in society if we can't work things out by having conversations. And, that's what I'm motivated here today to support, is that people from all walks of life are here to have those conversations about how we move forward together.
Very good. And lastly, if elected mayor, how would you ensure women's voices and leadership are built into policy?
Well, the organizer of this conference, Lindsay Wilson, is on my campaign team, and I can assure you that she's coming into City Hall with me. And to make sure, I think it's about continuing conversation. I mean, again, it's making sure that women have a seat at the table, making sure that we're inclusive of all of those opinions every single day of every single hour. That's what's really important. I mean, we don't build a Calgary that comes together for everybody if we don't include people at the table.
And what is a key takeaway that you want women to leave with today?
I think for me, it's that the first step is just getting involved. I think people say, 90% of life is just showing up. Teamwork and hard work are the two, I think, most important things in politics, and hard work being the top of that. So whether you want to door knock on somebody's campaign, help make phone calls, fundraise, there is a role for anybody and everybody in whatever they're interested in doing. And so I think that's the key takeaway here, is just jump in, get involved, grow your network, talk to people, and ultimately be in a position where you're confident taking that first step.
That you definitely need to have a thick skin. I had one before I started, so I was able to actually read the comments and find out what the disinformation bots were saying about me. Just have a thick skin, because people are going to get nasty, and just be aware of what's going on around you.
There's far too few women that get involved in politics, and I think we have a voice that needs to be heard. Again, we bring a different element to the political stage, and I think our opinions are valued by many, and we just need to share that and do more.
I think it's just that we have to use our voice. We can't sit on the sideline. We really need to get involved and be part of the decisions, because we have a great voice and we should use it.
Do that thing that makes you uncomfortable, because we'll never make a change in this world unless we are willing to be stretched and to expand ourselves. So that's the thing that I would leave.
If you want to help support our on-the-ground reporting, head to rebelfieldreports.com and chip in there. And as always, stay strong and stay free. For Rebel News, I'm Angelica Toy.